plea on Alario Luna.
Okay. Come up, Miss Luna.
Judge, there's an amendment to the plea. The state defense agreed to 40 hours of community service if the court so agrees.
What are we doing? What have you guys worked out?
You're deferred, Judge. Plead on one, dismiss the other.
What about the weapons?
Forfeiture of both.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing now?
For a job.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job? How old are you?
18.
What have you been doing with your life?
I graduated early.
If you graduate early, that must indicate you're somewhat smart. Mr. Luna, you're building yourself a future now. You're supposed to be working your butt now so that you have $1 million when you hit 40 to 50, perhaps 2 million, because otherwise you're going to be destitute when you hit that age. And I'm going to tell you now, life sucks without money. It really, really does. And what you're doing now is building yourself a life so that you have something when you get old and no one can take care of you and you're all decrepit. It's going to be really hard. I want to do this because I'm going to make sure that he's going to do something productive with your life. You now, within 30 days, must get a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to make sure because I'm going to make you come and I'd like to know for certain whether he's got a job within 30 days. No drugs, no alcohol. I'm going to test you. Do you understand? I want to make sure that you're building yourself somewhat, and that you're doing something. What about a trade?
That's my third card. I'm waiting on it to come back. And then
Great. When are you going to get the results on that?
it can take up to 60 days. It's been a month.
Call him back. Call him back. Find out what happened. Find out what's taking him so long. Don't just sit there and wait for someone to hand you something. It's not going to happen. You got to go get it. So we're doing a year deferred. What else? What else?
40 hours community service, Judge.
You were charged with 2 counts of unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail on each of those cases. You worked out an agreement where they're offering you a 1-year deferred. Deferred is a type of probation that if you complete it successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. And in exchange, you're going to dismiss one of your cases. What you need to understand, Mr. Luna, is you give up nearly every right known to man by entering this agreement. And if you fail at this agreement, you authorize us to put you in jail for an entire year. 365 days in jail if you violate this probation. Do you understand? I want you to do well, and I'll make you a deal that if you work and you do well, I'll take you off in half the time as a reward for doing well. And I'll make you a double reward. If you are able to get into a trade school education or some kind of trade like that, I will deem your community service hours waived. I'm taking off 100 hours of community service if you get into a trade school, like pipe fitting. What's the other one? Welding. That's what you do, because that's where you can make a lot of money. $20 an hour, $25 an hour. Kill it. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you're stuck with this until you complete it or violate it. If you violate this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to bring you back here and we're going to talk about whether you violated or not. And if you did, you're looking at an entire year. Do you understand? How do you plead to the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon? I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that for a year. Part of the other agreement is that you will do thinking for a change, substance abuse education, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, forfeiture of the weapons. And I think that's it.
Did you get, Chief had mentioned that we agreed to 40 as opposed to $100, Judge?
He did just say that, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
He's sitting back there.
Oh,
I marked it on here.
yes, Your Honor.
But like I said, if you get into a trade school, get an education for some kind of trade like that, I'll deem it waived. I'll take it off. Do something with your life, Mr. Lumen. Don't be like these. All right, man. Good luck. If you ever have an issue, come back and talk to us. Don't just take off because that's the worst possible thing you could do. All right? And don't pick up a new case. Okay, guys?
Thank you, Judge.
Brandon. Hey.
I'm approaching on Mr. Battaglia, B-A-T-T.
Okay.
He was told to do a drug test today. His first setting was last week. And he did test positive for marijuana, nothing else. His first court appearance was last week.
You tested it?
I'm sorry, Judge?
Tested it?
He did.
Okay.
Just marijuana.
Okay. So, here,
He's here, John.
bring him up real quick.
Yes, sir. Mr. Battaglia. And he knows, Judge, he's not doing anything. This is.
Good. I'm just gonna counsel him.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Did he tell you the results?
I just asked him, say marijuana. Before I approach.
No, you said that. I didn't say that.
So I thought you confirmed it was marijuana.
No, I got the receipt of marijuana.
Okay, that was my
It
misunderstanding.
has not been confirmed.
Do you have the results?
No, I do not.
Okay, so let's wait on the results, but, okay, so don't use.
Sorry.
So I'm not gonna test you after today, assuming it's, just that. I'm not gonna test you anymore until about 40 to 45 days after.
Sorry.
If you test clean after that, wonderful, great. If you continue to test positive for marijuana, that tells us that you're continuing to smoke. No dice. Don't use at all. Don't hang out with anyone that's using. Don't go into a car if people are using.
Can I say something? I don't just use regular marijuana, sir, so,
You're not supposed to use anything that has anything.
I was using it. I use concentrated marijuana, so it might test positive after 9 days, but if your second level goes to that, yes, it's positive.
I'm telling you no, Mr. Battaglia, okay? Don't use.
Yes, sir.
Show me somewhere where it says it can still be in your system at 90 days. But otherwise, at 40 to 45 days, I'm going to test you again. Don't use. That tells me that, unless you prove to me otherwise. All right. Okay,
He
Brandon.
also was telling me maybe going to work in Corpus Christi. I know I would need to give you a letter, but.
Look, there's no travel restriction. As long as you're not violating the law, you're not picking up any new cases, doing anything to violate your conditions, I don't care where you go.
Thank you.
Just if you get called for a drug test, be aware that you might have to take a drug test because it's got randoms,
Yes, sir.
right? So if you're out and about and you get called, you have to go to Quest Diagnostics and get a test there, and then you can send it to Brandon. We'll take that
Yes, sir.
so that we don't have to come all the way back here.
Yes, sir. Do you want me to reapproach? I apologize, Your Honor. I thought-
Don't worry about it. We'll have him here. If something that there shouldn't be, I'll text you.
Thank you.
I got your number.
Okay.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Morning, Mayor.
Hey, come on up. Good morning, Mr. Wingerter. Sir, you're charged with failure to identify oneself while being a fugitive from justice. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 10th, 2024, officers were dispatched to 350 East NASA Parkway in regard to a burglary alarm that went off. While checking the location, officers observed the defendant walking away from the business on the southeast side and ordered him to stop. Upon contact with the defendant advised he did not have an ID and gave the false name of Javier Vasquez, as well as a false date of birth. The officers gave the defendant an opportunity to give his real name twice, but the defendant asserted he was not lying both times. A pat down of the defendant revealed a glass pipe in his left pocket, and he was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. Subsequent to that, a fingerprint search was then conducted, which revealed the defendant's real name and showed he had an active warrant with the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
All right, Mr. Winter, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Planning on bonding out.
Asking for a PR bond.
Have you been given a PR bond in this case? Okay. I tell you that I think that everyone, at least one time, should be given and afforded the opportunity to do something right. And I will grant you a PR bond now. But if you take flight, if you take off and you don't come back, I'm going to be very hard pressed in the future. Do you understand? Here's the other thing though. I'm not going to give you a PR bond so you can just run the streets and just hang out on the street. I got to know that you have somewhere to go, someone that's going to care for you. You have somewhere to sleep, not just on the side of the street. Who do you have in your life that's with you now?
I can stay with them. They also got a place I can go.
How old are you? How old are you? 26. Where's mom and dad?
I haven't talked to my mom while she was in jail last time I checked, and she hasn't.
She was in jail for what?
It was a charge, and she got picked up on the I haven't spoken to her. My father, he works out of town, but I can stay with him too.
Where's he living?
Where's he staying? He does industrial radiology. He goes out of town, like Mexico. That's where I'm certified to work too, but I just need to get the job. But right now he's staying off of 249 in Fallbrook. In that area. I can catch a bus over there.
You're saying your dad lives in 249 in Fallbrook now?
My grandparents. Yeah, he stays there. My grandparents, and I can go stay there right now.
So let's do this. I've appointed Mr. Elick to represent you. I'd like to be able to verify that so that we know that you have a place to go to. And if so, I want to give you a PR bond. But like I said, I'm not giving you a PR bond so you can just run the street and create and wreak even more havoc. You have 2 open felonies now. I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on you. Where are you going? What you're doing, so you don't get in trouble and so you're not using what they're alleging is being used. No dope, no alcohol, and I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using.
Sure.
Do you understand? Okay, so do you mind?
I
And
can
then
step out and call.
Assuming, then I'll give him a PR bond.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think he's no bonded on his felonies right now, so that could change.
Oh.
But so it's not like he's gonna just get out anyway,
I didn't,
you know?
okay. I guess let's do that regardless, if you don't mind, Mr. Elick. Let's
Sure,
see if
I'll-
he has a place to go to
I'll
and,
be approached one side.
okay, this is not a good way to go through, man. You're 26. You want to follow in mom's footsteps? That's not a good role model, man. This is not a good way to go. You're starting your life now. You have 1 felony dismissed. You now have another 2 felonies. Life doesn't get easier. It gets harder. The more felonies you rack up, you think you can make life easier for you? Come on, man.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to call anybody right now. I know I can get on the bus and go straight to my grandparents. I don't have their numbers, but I know. I mean, if I was PR bonded, I know I could go straight.
What about your grandmother? You gave me her number.
I could call her, but she's not in town.
Give him something so that we have something to work with. We're not just going to throw you out, and we did that 2 times before. Look, you don't have to say anything. We just don't want you floating on the street doing nothing. That's it. All right.
I'll reapproach, Your Honor.
Thanks, Ms. Shayla. Ms. Tillis, you're not going to look at me? Are you that upset? Shh. What's going on?
She had the older case, she picked up the new case. We do not have video on the newer case yet. However, the state has made an offer to time serve her on the older case and dismiss the newer one.
How long have you been in custody, ma'am?
A month and a half. She has 114 days credit on the older case, or she's been in for 114 days total on the older case and 55 on the new one.
Life, man. What do you do in life? Do you work? Do you go to school? Who do you live with?
I'm not able to complete school because I don't have the correct resources. I take care of my younger siblings.
And she also
I
received,
don't want you to plead guilty just to get out of jail. I don't want that to happen because it's only hurting you even more than you are right now. But if I let you out, you've picked up 2 criminal mischief cases.
Pick up a job.
How old are you? Who do you have in your life now? Is your mom around? Miss Tillis, I want to let you out, but I have to know that I'm not going to let you out to the street. I'm trying to talk to you to get to know you in the little time that I have to see how much I can trust you if I let you out. I'm sorry?
It's been a long trial and I'm tired.
Who do you have in your life that's ready to help you now if we let you out? Yourself? Do you have any parents around?
Judge, mom is around, she's just not in the picture.
Father? Do you have anyone in your life that's ready to help you out and give you a place to live?
Set her up to go to the Harris Health Center.
I don't know if she knows what she's doing.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to do this just to let you get out of the street because the street is not a safe place for you.
I have contact with him on a regular basis, but
So who are you living with before you picked up these 2 cases? Where? Did you have an apartment? Did you have,
house.
who owned the house? I don't know if I feel comfortable. I don't want you to plead guilty just to get out, ma'am. But if you give me a place that you have that they'll take you in, I'll let you out. Will you talk to Anna to see what we can do to try to help you find housing?
I can't get housing. I can't get housing.
Why not?
I have a SSI, but my SSI has been getting taken.
Do you have any other family members in your life that can help you out to give you a place to stay? Aunts, uncles, who?
I have a grandfather.
Is that someone that we can reach out to and speak to? Do you have the number that we can have Anna call and verify? And
What is it called?
Her property at
Property?
the
Yes,
jail.
I can't.
you don't know the phone number by heart? Do you know any phone numbers?
Judge, if you'd like, we can roll this a couple of days and I can reach out to the next social worker to have them.
I'm looking now for a phone number. I have one, but I don't know if that's her phone number or someone else's phone number. I'm going through all the paperwork now to see if I can find anything. Is this 7599, is that your number?
Yeah, the last four.
I don't want you to say it out loud now, but the last four numbers, do you know what your phone number is?
Right, but do you know the number? There's a number that's on the paperwork.
There's my emergency contact.
Okay,
Wonderful. Can you reach out to that? And I'm going to give it to you now.
I can do that, Judge.
Okay, can you please reach out to them, please? And if we can find her housing, I'll give her a piano fund. I don't want to just plead guilty just to plead guilty to get out, okay? I want anything, find anything so that we can do it. And if we can have her talk to social worker, figure out housing and help with the SSI back so that she has some kind of income coming in.
Okay.
This is the phone number I have.
Okay.
And then if you maybe 2 days, let's not take long. If you need any help, if you need any kind, like if you need investigative money to find any kind of relative for her, just anything you need. Hey.
Just wait on my client for a plea, Judge.
Okay. Yeah.
You're moving inside of it?
Oh, that's a no-go. Jeremiah Julian. Good morning, Mr. Julian. Oof. Oof. So you were on bond for an unlawful carrying of a weapon, a felony PCS, a criminal trespass with a deadly weapon, failure to ID, and then another unlawful carrying of a weapon. So you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 open cases. What are we doing?
It's time served on one of the unlawful carry weapon cases, and they're dismissing the others, Judge. He'll still have to resolve his felony.
So that's still open at this point?
Yes, Judge.
As part of the agreement is forfeiture of the weapon, I would presume.
Yes, Judge. George was pretty specific about that.
Okay, so Mr. Julian, you've worked out just a tremendous deal. They're going to dismiss 3 of the cases in exchange for your plea on one of them, okay? What you really need to understand is that this charge is going to go on your record. And you are now, will be facing a minimum of 90 days in jail for any weapons that you pick up. Or I'm sorry, any weapons, any cases that you pick up, you're looking at a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? This charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You give up all your rights, basically entering into this plea bargain agreement saying, look, I don't want a trial. I don't want to talk to witnesses. I don't want to confront and cross-examine my accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never undo this or change this. It will go on your record and it'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon? You also need to understand is that the weapons in all of these cases will be forfeit. You will not get them back.
But that was only for one case. The case that I
Well,
had.
that's for all cases.
Okay, yes. Can I tell you something? I mean,
Sure.
I don't know if I can speak. Because sometimes they say don't speak to the lawyer, the judge.
Are you talking about the facts of your cases?
Yes.
So you can't, he's not going to do anything about the facts of your cases. That's a separate issue.
I want to tell you this, like the new cases that I just caught, I was trying to do a non-arrest warrant, and I had caught a case at my house. Like, this is my home address, and they told me I was trespassing basically at my home. And then the gun was my mother's, and
You're dismissing all those cases. You know what I mean? So you're only pleading to one of the cases and they're dismissing the other 3. So If you're not pleading guilty to those cases, they're dismissing all of them. So the problem is that part of the plea bargain is that you can't get these guns back, at least 2 of them. We only have 2, right? Yeah, you can't get those back though.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, do you still want to do this? All right. How do you plead to the offense? I will find you guilty, sentence you to 10 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 8 days that you've done. Unfortunately, we still have you here because you still have your case upstairs. Just be careful. If you get on probation, take it seriously because you're facing a lot of time. Okay? All right, good luck, Mr. Delaney.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care. Thank you. Mr. Delaney.
I'm reapproaching on Mr. Wingerter. I did speak with his father.
The courtroom in Texas was supposed to be a regular session, just like any other day, filled with routine hearings, familiar faces, and predictable legal procedures. But nothing about that day turned out to be routine. From the moment the judge walked in, the room carried an unusual tension, something unspoken, something heavy, almost as if everyone sensed that something unexpected was about to unfold. As the defendants were brought forward one by one, the quiet murmurs in the room slowly faded. People sat straighter, listening closely to every word exchanged between the judge and those standing before him. These weren't simple cases, and these weren't simple mistakes. Many of the individuals were facing serious charges, drug-related crimes, possession of illegal weapons, and repeated acts of mischief that had spiraled beyond control. Some still held on to hope for another chance, while others already knew that their time for excuses had run out. The judge, known for his fairness but also for his sharp honesty, looked at each person with a mixture of disappointment and concern. He wasn't there just to read out punishments. He understood the weight of every decision he made. For him, every courtroom moment became a crossroads for the person standing in front of him. But even he wasn't prepared for what happened next. When one particular defendant stepped forward, there was an uneasy silence that swept across the room. This young man didn't come in with arrogance or defiance. Instead, he carried himself with confusion, frustration, and a strange kind of emptiness, as if he didn't fully understand how his life had reached this point. As he spoke, his words shocked the entire room, but especially the judge. His remarks weren't disrespectful, but they revealed a painful truth about how deeply he'd fallen, how disconnected from reality he had become. It wasn't anger that filled the judge's eyes, it was disbelief. The judge leaned forward, stunned by what he had just heard. He paused, letting the silence settle in the room. Then, in a voice that carried both authority and compassion, he responded with a message that hit everyone in the courtroom, including those just watching from the benches. He told the young man that life doesn't always give endless opportunities. At some point, a person must decide whether they want to rise from their mistakes or remain trapped in them. And sometimes, if a person refuses to change, the system ends up making the decision for them. For a moment, the courtroom didn't feel like a place of punishment. It felt like a place of truth. The judge reminded everyone that the world outside may not always be forgiving, but the courtroom, ironically, can sometimes become a place where reality finally sinks in. A place where someone realizes that their future depends entirely on the choices they make today. As more defendants stepped forward, it became clear that many weren't just struggling with the law, they were struggling with life itself. Broken families, addiction, peer pressure, and the absence of real guidance had pushed many of them into darkness long before they ever set foot in a courtroom. The judge emphasized something that resonated deeply: the importance of a support system. Some of the people standing before him had no family left to rely on. Others had friends who dragged them into trouble rather than pulling them out of it. The judge explained that no matter how strong an individual tries to be, no one succeeds alone. A good support system, whether it's family, mentors, counselors, or even community programs, can completely change someone's direction in life. He spoke calmly but firmly, explaining that rehabilitation isn't a sign of weakness. Asking for help isn't something to be ashamed of. In fact, recognizing that you need guidance is one of the most powerful decisions a person can make. There were moments during the hearing when the judge softened, offering encouragement to those who still had a spark of hope. And then there were moments when his tone became serious, reminding repeat offenders that time eventually runs out. Choices always lead to consequences, whether good or bad. And the clock never stops. By the middle of the session, the room felt transformed. People weren't just watching legal proceedings, they were witnessing raw, human emotion unfold in real time. Some of the defendants broke down in tears. Others stared silently, processing the reality of their actions. Even the audience sitting in the back seemed shaken by the judge's words. It was one of those rare moments where the courtroom didn't feel like just a place of justice, it felt like a place where lives were being reshaped. The judge returned to a powerful idea again and again, that every person standing before him still had the chance to turn their life around. It didn't matter how many mistakes they had made. It didn't matter how far they had fallen. What mattered was whether they were willing to stand back up and fight for a better future. The defendant who had initially shocked the judge listened quietly as the judge spoke. Something in his expression changed. For the first time during the session, he looked awake, truly awake, as though the weight of the judge's words had finally reached him. The confusion in his eyes slowly faded, replaced by understanding, even regret. The judge offered him one final chance, but with a warning that echoed through the courtroom, "This is the last door that will open for you. After this, there may be no more chances. You have to decide who you want to be, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now." The young man nodded, his voice trembling as he promised to change. Whether he truly would or not was something only time would reveal. But in that moment, the judge gave him something he desperately needed: clarity. As the hearing continued, the judge's message remained consistent. Life is full of challenges, temptations, and moments that can pull a person in the wrong direction. But no matter how difficult things become, responsibility cannot be avoided. Choices define destiny. Decisions shape the future. And the courtroom, despite its stern environment, can sometimes be the place where the journey toward change truly begins. When the session finally ended, people walked out slowly, still processing everything they had witnessed. The judge gathered his papers, adjusting his glasses with a tired yet thoughtful expression. It had been an emotionally draining day for him as well. After all, judges are human too. They feel the weight of every decision. They understand the consequences of every ruling. And they know that sometimes a single sentence, spoken or delivered, can alter the course of someone's life. As the room emptied, the echoes of the judge's powerful message lingered in the air. It was a reminder to everyone who had been there, and to everyone who would hear this story later, that change is always possible, but only for those who choose it.